I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. Don't second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G sitting alongside Rio and Jimmer tonight, and we've got a special guest from the East Coast. Rio, who are we talking to tonight, man?
Tonight we have Kolt Pearce on. Colt, how you doing?
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Doing good. Jack, to have you on. Appreciate you taking time out of your extremely busy life right now.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. I'm excited.
Heck yeah. So kind of just to kick this thing off, we were looking at some stats and videos of yourself. Was your season cut short last year, football season?
My junior year was, yes. I only had 2 games my junior year. COVID kind of took over, so we were cut short then. And then my senior year, we were able to get 9 games in.
Okay, all right. So when did you start playing sports and gravitating towards playing sports, and also what were they? Were you playing football right away, or were there some other things you were doing when you first started playing?
So when I was young, I pretty much just started off like a normal kid. I started playing t-ball, and I was in soccer and basketball. So those are my first three sports, and transitioned to my main 3 sports being lacrosse, basketball, and football. I started playing football when I was 10. So those are my 3 main sports for a while. Headed into high school. My freshman year, I decided to stop playing lacrosse to focus more on basketball and football. And then played varsity basketball and football throughout high school. So I'm doing that since, and now just going with football at Penn State.
Heck yeah, man. When have you always been as tall as you are? You are massive. What I see, 6'6", 6'7". Is that right?
Yeah, 6'6.5", around there. I've pretty much always been the until high school, always been the tallest kid in my class. So always been up there.
That has not been the case for our other host here, Danny G.
No, he's like 4'10" on a good day with high heels.
On a good day, I don't know about heels. There might be some added little cheats there. But
right,
Yeah,
kind of like a
yeah.
push-up bra.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
for sure.
Okay, all right. So, how did your high school career kind of go? You said you started playing football and basketball in high school. How did those seasons go? What kind of stats were you putting up?
So I actually transferred from my middle school, which was Loyola Blakefield, which also has a high school. So I transferred from there to where I went, Gilman, because I started getting recruited for football and basketball over there. So I started out playing football my freshman year, varsity for Gilman. Played a little bit, not too much, not as much as I would have liked to. We didn't have a great season. Went 1-9. Following season went 1-9 again. Started my sophomore year. Very, very average stats my sophomore year. Junior years was starting again. We only had 2 games, obviously. Won both of those. My whole high school career, I've been stuck in a really very run-heavy offense. So very hard to get the ball at receiver position. We didn't throw the ball much at all. So senior year.
But man, I've seen a bunch of your stats, and that is surprising because
I was going to say the highlights, too.
Yeah, the highlights. You pull away from guys, and the quarterback looks like he's got an arm as well. But your routes, you run right by guys and, come down with catches. So that's
just team
surprising.
philosophy, though. It's just heavy run is what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, I actually only had 12 receptions my senior year. But I was averaging 34 yards per catch. So
That's what I'm
Yeah.
watching here right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
so then they have all 12 catches in your highlight reel. That's what you do then. You just do ridiculous shit because you guys only pass so little.
Most of what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means that's got to be something that Penn State is definitely intrigued by in the sense of you said you're a run-heavy offense. So that means you definitely know how to throw a block or two.
Yeah, I got a couple blocks in my my highlights.
Yeah.
Blocking I actually kind of enjoyed during high school. I get a chance to, like, you know, take my smaller corner and toss them around a little bit. So
Yeah.
I got some blocking in me heading into college.
There we go.
Yeah, not afraid to block, and I mean the highlights show you definitely like to high point the ball. In that, you tell me if I'm wrong though. It seemed like that quarterback do you guys know each other? It seemed like there was chemistry there. Like he knew you were going to be able to come down with the ball. One of those highlights, I think there were like 4 defenders in your area, and he still chucked it up, and you still got it, scored a touchdown.
Yep. So pretty much. He came in freshman year, started since then. He's a year under me, so he's going to be a rising senior. And yeah, we've been playing together ever since. Been working out together, training a bunch together, and we still do. Actually, I was with him 2 days ago, catching balls with him. So yeah, we've definitely had chemistry over the years. He knows what my best abilities are, and I know where he can put the ball. So it was hand in hand.
There we go.
Heck yeah. So you're going through. You're playing a little bit of basketball too. Touch on a little bit of that in high school.
Yeah. So got moved to varsity my sophomore year. Played a little bit that year, and then junior year, senior year, started playing a lot. I had a good year. We made it to the semis this year. Had a couple injuries throughout the basketball seasons over the years, but I don't know. It's been a sport since I've played since I was very young. My first sport, so it's always been a sport I love. Never hated the sport, and obviously for college, just had to come down to one sport. But loved the time I played it, and definitely gave me some advantages in football too.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. So talk a little bit recruitment. When did you start getting noticed early on in your college career, or was it high school career, or was it later on?
It was actually pretty late for me. COVID really messed things up for me and the kids in my class. So my summer of last year and pretty much last year, 2021 summer, I'd travel a ton, go to a ton of camps, ton of combines, private workouts with a bunch of different colleges. Because, I mean, as you know, before this year too, my film was very minimal. Couldn't get the ball much. Didn't have many highlights. So had to travel down south to different camps up north. So I got my exposure there and then played a little 7-on-7 with a team. Team Florida Elite. They're down in Florida, so I traveled to Dallas with them, played in AT&T Stadium with them for a tournament.
Oh, very cool.
Yep, got noticed there, and then different colleges would just bring me in for private workouts. I'd just get looked at one-on-one, me and the coach. And
can you touch on some of those colleges that were bringing you in and showing some interest?
Yeah, so I did a private workout with Florida. I've done a couple. I did Florida State. I've done one with Navy, Maryland, Virginia Tech, Georgia. I think that's everywhere that I'd had the one-on-one workouts, and then I did a couple camps. Did some mega camps down in Florida and Alabama.
That's still not a bad list at all. Like, damn. I'm like, hold on. Pretty sure I know each one of those universities, right?
No kidding.
There you go.
Getting some exposure, getting your name out. Talk your visit. Did you take any other visits? I saw you were at Penn State. It seemed like that was kind of almost immediately you wanted to go there. Did you take any visits anywhere else and consider, and what other schools were in consideration until ultimately you picked Penn State?
Yeah, so visited Maryland a couple times. Loved Maryland. Visited Virginia Tech. Loved Blacksburg too. Visited Navy. They were up there. And then pretty much all the schools I did a workout at, I visited, took and had heavy consideration. Visited Florida State, but also went through Auburn, Georgia Tech. And I never got down to Houston to visit because Penn State came right along the same time, but they were really up there, heavy consideration. Those were the top ones, and then I also visited Yale.
Okay. So did any school like blow you away other than Penn State? Was there somewhere else you were heavily considering?
Maryland blew me away when they weren't one of my favorites, and then I visited and I was very blown away. Their facilities are amazing. The people there are great. It's my home state and my mother's alma mater. So Maryland was definitely up there, and then I'd say Houston and Navy were the other two. Those were probably top four.
Okay. And what got you hook, line, and sinker on Penn State?
So my dad grew up around Penn State. I'm actually up here now as we speak.
Okay.
So he grew up around here. So I grew up coming to games up here, the whiteout, blue-white games, a bunch of games. So I felt very comfortable here. I've been here 1,000 times, and my brother actually goes here. He's a rising senior, so I visited him a bunch. Felt more comfortable here than any other school. I kind of knew the place already. Would have had to get used to a whole new place somewhere else. So it made a great connection with the coaches here. Feels like family here with Coach Franklin. I like what he's putting together here. My tight ends coach, Coach Howe, got a really good relationship with them. So felt like definitely the choice had to be made to come here.
Awesome.
So Penn State has a lot of studs coming in, right? Their recruiting class is really high. It looks like they're really on their way back up to kind of, I guess, glory days, if you will. Thinking about you, what are you realistically hoping to do in your first couple years here at Penn State? Are you hoping, make an impact on the field right away, or are you just hoping to get your bearings and kind of learn through some of these seasoned guys? Like, what are you thinking?
So right now, I'd probably say the plan is to go in, put on a good amount of weight, but muscle. And most likely I'll end up redshirting my freshman year. I want to prove that I deserve to be there, show I can make my presence in the Big Ten. And then just want to, first year, do everything I can to make the team better and get myself better, get used to the tight end position, learn from the best on the team because we got a great tight end room, and then take what I can and with the coming years, hopefully apply it to the field.
Got it. You're like what I see 195. Or what are you trying to get up to?
I've put on an actual ton of weight.
Okay.
This off season, so right now I'm sitting at 215, 216.
There we go.
Okay.
What are you trying to get up to then? Ultimately, like what's the weight that you're kind of like trying to target here?
In the next couple months, I'd say I'd like to get up to 230 at least in the next couple months, and then make sure that's all muscle and get a little more weight up from there.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. So, what if you're describing yourself? What do you bring to the table at the tight end position? If you're giving yourself a scouting report, what do you do to make the team better? What does Kolt do to make the team better right now when he steps on the field?
I'd say if I'm stepping on the field, just knowing that you have a guy where in desperation put it up, and 9 times out of 10 he'll come down with it, and you know you have a guy who can get his man off the line, beat his man off the line, and create space in the field, get open, and make a presence for the quarterback, and get some good yardage from it.
Heck yeah. Yeah, so kind of almost in that same direction. Who do you try to emulate your game after anybody, and who, could you tell me, do you see yourself as, NFL comparison?
I'd probably say I've been paying attention ever since college to Kolt Pearce. I kind of see myself a little bit like that, split end, like he can play in, but he can also play outside a little bit, standing up. So, because I've been used to playing standing up for pretty much all high school. So,
okay,
I'd probably say Kolt Pearce. I like what he does. I like what he did in college.
Yeah, I like that comparison. Watching your tape, and you run some good routes, and then when you need to, you can turn the burners on and get by people. So that's actually, I think, a really good comparison.
Yeah, actually, I like it too. Normally, I try to give crack into my own here, like try to give another one, but I like that one just because you're not just a big body tight end that's athletic that can jump out. Like when I was watching the tape just now, you have real crisp routes, right? For somebody that wasn't part of a heavy pass offense, I was actually pretty impressed with that. Like how easily you were able to cut off your route and go a different direction, and damn beautiful.
Yeah, I like the Pitts comparison. I'm going to give you a different one. When I looked at your highlights, though, when the physicality that it seems like you play with is very Gronk-esque to me. So when I first saw your highlights, that's the first thing that I thought of.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. That's huge.
Yeah.
I see. So if you end up redshirting, and you don't end up playing the first year, the next year I see you play one of the hardest defense in the nation.
Who's that?
In Iowa on October 28th.
Get out of here.
So
look at him. Even the laugh, he was like, who?
I had to throw it in there. We are Hawkeye fans, but still a fan of yours there, Colt.
That's right.
Yeah. Cole, do you have any favorite NFL teams?
Yeah, I'm a big Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, yuck.
Although
he's a Cowboys fan. He's a Cowboys fan to our right here.
Sorry.
No, you're not. It's okay.
Yeah.
Tell him no. Be like, no.
All right. Do you think Jalen Hurts is the answer for the Eagles?
I think he is. I think he is. If we can get, I think this is proven year. If we can get some answers at receiver, then I think this could be his year.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think he could show, but he deserves it.
So I'm going to agree with you right now, and the reason why I agree is I think he has enough to do that. I think to me, he's not much different than Dak. He really isn't. Now, just playing. What I mean by that is put the offense around him for him to succeed. Like you need to build the offense directly for him to be successful. Correct.
Yeah.
But I heard that comparison. It actually made me dawn on me. He was a Philadelphia beat writer. He's like they don't even need Philly to. They don't even need Philly to. They don't need Hurts to be the best quarterback in the nation. All they want is for him to be the best quarterback in the East, and that is an achievable goal when it's Dak. When it is clearly Dak up here so far, but if you surround him with the right pieces, you have the same. You could have basically the same team that's Cowboys, and then you have a 1-2 right there, right?
Yeah, you think about it. They probably did that at Oklahoma, right? Surround him, and the offense tailored to him, probably. So,
what do you think for your guys' season, as in the Eagles? What are you thinking going into this one?
I don't know. I think Eagles are one of the most unpredictable teams in the league. I mean, but I think we always do better than people expect. So I say we get. I don't know. I think we're gonna beat the expectations a little bit, but not too much. I think. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. So
with the extra game, you think it may at least get to 10 wins, 10-7?
I hope.
hey,
thinking like a Vikings
two of us.
fan right now.
Exactly. Two of us are Vikings fans at this table, so that's what we try to do too. Like,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
what?
hold on. We're like, yeah, we're going to, and then it starts going down here like this. The
At least
closer we
he's
get,
honest at the beginning. Y'all are like, yeah, we're going to the Super
yeah,
Bowl.
no, that's what we start the season. I told you, we start like this, and then we start working our way down. It's like going to a bar and you're picking up a chick. You start at the high shelf, and then
yeah, the
throughout the
trickle-down
night,
effect.
yeah, the trickle down.
Yeah,
It's kind of
okay.
like after the season, after our draft, we're like, oh yeah, hell yeah, we got this in the bag.
Yeah, okay.
And then as closer we get to the season, first 4 games, okay, we're settling back down here.
For sure. Cool. You got any favorite NBA teams? You played some basketball. I'm sure you got a favorite NBA team or player.
Yeah, also Philadelphia 76ers.
Okay.
That is my team, die hard, and then can't go wrong with Embiid.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think about James Harden? Keep him or get rid of him?
I say keep him. I like him. My dad
Okay.
hates him.
Well, when the dude cuts and actually, you know what I'm saying, cuts weight, it does the thing, and actually takes his NBA career seriously in the season, he is arguably, even though me and you don't like him, Danny,
When he wants to be,
when he
he's
wants to
one of
be,
the
he
best,
is
yeah.
he's one of the best in the league, and it's irritating.
Yeah.
He's irritatingly good. We don't like him because we don't like it. We don't like his style of play. But when he's at the top of his game,
Yeah.
I mean, I would roll the dice. I don't know what else
Got to
you can
keep him
do,
away
right?
from the buffets and the strip clubs, right? Because that's where
Right,
it all goes south.
Waffles and boobies on fucking Wednesday nights.
Yep.
Yeah, keep them out of there.
Yeah.
So, not football related, Cole. What are you going to school for then?
At Penn State.
Yeah.
So I'm undecided right now, hoping to after a year or so get into the business school and then hopefully get into corporate innovation entrepreneurship.
You know what? I have a great idea for you, Colt. Texas is Longhorns. They have a great
Tell him to
business.
shut up right
Jesus.
now.
Business,
Good God.
university, the school is great, right? You look
No.
good in burnt orange.
No.
So
nobody
transfer portal
looks
is
good
crazy.
in burnt orange.
Transfer
Nobody.
portal
Shut
is just
up.
so amazing these
Hey,
days.
ignore him, Colt. Good God, I'm sorry for that.
Unbelievable.
Oh man, unbelievable.
All I'm saying.
What was the one I had for you? Oh, I did have one quick one for you, and that is, I don't know if you saw this or not. This is in my notes, but I'm going to ask who he thinks in this one since we're kind of hitting it that way.
Let's go.
Did you see running backs Adrian Peterson and Le'Veon Bell are going to box each other in an exhibition match?
Wow, I did not see that.
Yeah, they're gonna do it in July here coming up. My question to you is, with those two guys, who do you think comes out of the ring with a victory?
AP.
Yes,
dude,
sir.
he didn't even hesitate.
Imagine if they let him bring his switch out.
Oh Jesus!
Man.
He made like Le'Veon Pickett.
Yeah, whatever.
No, he didn't even hesitate. Neither did I. I was like, dude, this is all day, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
This is all day.
Literally.
Like Le'Veon, come on,
Dude,
You're not
Le'Veon.
on the same level as this man.
that guy, like
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell. Talk about that just a second. Right, he was a stud, held out for a big contract, held out for all that time, got his big contract, and then just has been crap, and then ever since. That's crazy.
So, going over that region there, you said you're from, like, you played in Maryland. Or do you have any affiliation? Do you have a little bit of love for Baltimore at all?
Yeah, so that's where I am. That's where I live right now. Grew up there. Grew up in Baltimore. Been there ever since. Haven't moved. So, yep.
So you got a little bit. So you got a little Ravens love for a little bit of Ravens love there.
Yeah, my second team. It's my family's team, but Eagles are always first.
You pay that man, right?
Lamar.
Lamar.
He's got to get a max contract, right? I mean, he's going to set the market for a new contract. I think you have to. You can't let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't let him walk. You can't let him walk, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're right. I haven't been keeping up with Ravens too much.
Yeah, just keep surrounding that offense.
Yeah. So that brings us to our next segment. It's called Rio's Randoms. Cold. It's just 3 random questions, and everybody's going to answer them. Kind of fun and lighthearted. Nothing too serious. You in?
I'm in.
Boom.
Let's
All
go.
right.
No fear.
You know what time it is, folks? It is time for Rio's Randoms. Brought to you by Bose Power Washing out of Belmont, Iowa. Make sure to hit our guy up for any cleaning, mowing services that you need. He moves snow in the wintertime. Sure to hit him up at 641-903-1720. First up on Rio's Randoms tonight, if you had to choose one for the rest of your life, which would you choose? The only drink you could drink is water, or every meal is a salad?
Every meal is a salad.
I'm going water.
Water.
Water for sure.
That's not as difficult as what I thought. First off, I'm a fat guy, so a salad wouldn't kill me for the rest of my life. You know.
But to never eat beef again, or
No. You didn't say that. You said a salad, so I can put whatever on my salad. I can have a taco salad,
Hold on.
Holmes.
All right,
Remember
let's-
when you said you didn't know what a taco salad
All
was
right,
and you had it in a bowl?
All right, all greens. All right, you're like basically going vegetarian. That's a salad.
No, that's not a greens. You said a salad.
Okay, that's what.
What
I
do you
mean.
put on your salad at the salad bar, Danny? Be real.
See, Jimmer, I feel like you're stretching it a little bit
Right.
because
No, I'm not saying-
we could talk about like
I'm not
dessert
saying I'm putting-
salads.
I'm not-
we could talk about
No. I'm just saying.
know.
I'm saying with lettuce and stuff. But I'm talking about you're still putting meat on it, right? You're still putting turkey, chicken, whatever. You're still putting that on there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So thank you. Appreciate you for that. That's what I mean. I still can get the meat in there. What are you thinking, Colt?
I'm going water, 100%.
Yeah.
Or
for
do you
sure.
want to add some
Yeah, water.
enhancers? Does that count?
Water.
Water
Number
enhancers?
2 on Rio's Randoms. Let's say the world cancels all your cars, say they are dangerous, and you can only ride or drive animals everywhere. What's your animal ride?
It's easy.
Oh, okay.
Gorilla.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Just latching right on, baby.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He even said easy. Like, definitely, he might have even thought about this before.
My gorilla ain't stopped for no stoplights. Everyone's
You're
Yeah,
damn,
whatever I
you're
want.
Okay.
damn
All
straight.
right.
All right. We got.
Man, I'm debating on something huge like an elephant, right? Or something a little more fun. I think I might go kangaroo, just so I can stop every once in a while, watch him get into a fight with something, and then
Okay.
hop back on. And
All
roll.
right. Oh yeah, they're
Okay.
definitely dangerous.
What do you got?
Give me a giraffe, dude. I'm gonna have like a 12-foot slide. I gotta slide up and slide down, clamber up that thing, saddle up.
You
and
said
go.
clamber. You didn't say
Clam-
climb, right?
clamber
Why
up
can't
that
you
thing.
climb?
Yeah, it's a little bit different going up a giraffe, I think.
Well, you're not wrong.
Giraffe would be fun.
You know what? I'm not gonna
yeah.
go. I'm not gonna go way too extravagant with this one. I'm gonna go a big, massive bull. That's what I want. Like I don't know if you guys go the back way, Mason City over there on the north side. I know that farmer too, but he has 2 massive bulls out there, and he doesn't even have the horns on. Imagine having the horns on those bad boys. You're just walking through. No one's messing with a big old masculine beast like that. And since I already gave up. Evidently, I gave up my meat for fucking salads. At least I get to ride the meat. How about that?
Jeez. All right. Get behind the bull.
And last for Rio's Randoms tonight, would you rather catch a long bomb pass for a touchdown, like you blow by all the defenders, it's a long 80-yard touchdown, or you catch a touchdown, but it's a short 5-10 yard pass and you take it all the way for a touchdown? Which would you rather do?
Ooh.
Well, I'm gonna have to go like me. So I'm talking about that breaking it, that 5 yards, whatever. Because some of that glory, except for like jumping over, making a spectacular catch, which Colt has in some of his highlights I watched. But besides like making something ridiculous, jumping out of the gym over like 3 or 4 guys or snatching it away. A lot of that glory can go to the quarterback. You know what? You know where the glory doesn't go to? You hit me in a 5-year stride, 5-yard stride, and then I cut and I take it to the house. That highlight reel is literally that next 10 seconds, 15 seconds is me.
Yeah, after that point, I gotta agree with you there. Going 5-10 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Give me the Debo. I'm taking that.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
he just keeping his rules when we say Debo.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I might go bomb here. Just to, like watching Randy Moss, right, get one deep, or even Calvin Johnson just reeling one in down the sidelines. You got a quarterback that can just gun it down the field, whatever. He's down there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
You come down and run it down. I think that'd be – and to know that they couldn't catch you. Be like, yeah, you're slower than me. I'm just going to run by you.
All right. I like
Do the Tyreek Hill, turn around, give him the peace sign,
peace
right?
sign, yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Boom, boom.
Might get suspended or fined, but it's whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that is what I have for Rio's Random tonight. Make sure you hit up our guy Kevin Beauchart for all your cleaning and power washing needs.
So, this is kind of a little baby extension of that. I was going to bring this conversation up. Me and my wife got in a debate, I think it was yesterday. And, Cole, I'm going to ask you a question here, and tell me what you think, and then I'll get it from my co-host, which they don't know what the question is either. But that is, if you are going somewhere, it doesn't matter. Let's say you're traveling, you're going up to watch one of your buddies play a game, like these a couple towns over, right? And you're going a different route to get there than normal. Let's say you know the route if you're on a different side of town and it's a clear cut, but you're going from a different way. It should be like right here, right? I'm going to go this route and then shoot over. Now, you overshoot the town that you're going to because you're on a different route. You already know that. Shit, overshot because this town already is too far north, And you know which general vicinity to go to get back to where you need to go. My question to you, gentlemen, are you lost?
No.
What do you got, Colt? Are you lost if you just because you overshot where you thought you were supposed to go, and you kind of know where you are, you know where you're trying to head, at least the general direction. Are you lost?
No, you're not lost.
Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Rio.
No.
Yeah, she told me you were lost. I'm like, no, I was not lost. I overshot. I'm like, I knew lost is not knowing where you're going or where you're at all. I know where I'm at. I overshot where I was trying to go. I should have taken a right at, I think that's like Crystal Lakes right there. And I did it. I overshot. I kind of went through Crystal Lake, and then I was like, oh, shit. The next one. And then I overshot by, I think I lost a half hour of time because of that. I'm like, but she's like, you were lost. You were lost. I'm like, no, I wasn't. I knew I know where I am. I know where I'm going. Thank you. Appreciate your guys' support on this. My wife's going to appreciate listening to that too.
She'll be real happy with you. Well, I guess as we kind of start to wrap it up with you here, Cole, my last question, I guess, is this. One of the other things that I had kind of looked up and found about you, it looked like there were a handful of like Ivy League schools that were interested in you as well, right?
Yep.
So I'm assuming what high school GPA, 4.0? Like what are we looking at there, man?
So where I went, Gilman is a very top academic high school on the East Coast. So it's known by many Ivy Leagues, many colleges of like how prestigious it is. But I had around a 3.7, 3.8. So that kind of passed football wise for Ivy League. So I was in touch with many Ivy schools, but the only one I ended up really visiting was Yale.
Okay, hell yeah.
That totally fits what you're potentially looking at for business or entrepreneurship, things like that. So,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
One of my final ones is I ask every one of my guests this: what is the one thing, or maybe you have multiple things, it doesn't matter, but what is the thing like before you go out in the football field, before prepping for the game on game day, to kind of settle your nerves, calm you down, get you in the zone? Do you have anything like that? Do you have a ritual? Do you have music? Do you, like whatever your thing is?
So I've got two things. One before, like 5 minutes before kickoff or any time, I always look at my dad, double pat my chest, and point up to the sky. And my grandfather and my dad will do it in return. That's one thing we always do. And then secondly, before every game, I had, I guess during the games too, I would take my wrist and write Psalm 28:7 on it, which said, God is shit, it's at God damn it, I have another Bible verse stuck in my head right now. Oh, it's the Lord is your strength and shield. So I would always have that on my wrist.
There we go.
And that kind of protected me during the game. So I kind of had to make sure I did that for every single game, and stuck to it.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Another one is I need to know what do you do when it's chill time? No football, no sports, none of that. What do you do? What do you do to put your hair down? Friends, you do that type. Obviously, yeah, I'm sure you have friends, but I mean, what do you guys go do? What do you do to chill?
Well, me and my friends just love going to the gym. We go to the gym every day. We make sure we're always there every day. I mean, it's just what we love to do, and we're there for a couple hours. So I'd probably say that's our number one thing, just hitting the gym, keeping each other accountable. And, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very cool. Before we let you go here, getting to play football at the next level, Division I level, is always a great accomplishment, and usually you got some people helping you along the way. And anybody you'd like to shout out that has definitely helped you and helped guide you to where you are now?
100%, definitely. My dad, he's driven me, flown me, gotten me everywhere I needed to be, put me through trainings I may or may not have wanted to do. But he's definitely pushed me very, very hard along the way. Made sure I was where I needed to be. Made sure I had the right people, right trainers in my corner to get me where I needed to be. And he got me to where I am today. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And he continues to give me inspiration every day. So definitely shout out to him.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, we want to thank you a ton for taking the time. I'm glad we could finally get together. We had some schedule conflicts there. And, I mean, speaking for myself, Jimmer and Rio, we definitely wish you the best of luck. Even though we're Hawkeye fans, as long as you're not playing the Hawkeyes, we want to see you 200 receiving yards, a couple smash blocks, and maybe a tutty. All right?
In a game, and then you will continue to grow from there.
Exactly.
Yep.
You gained 3 fans here, my man. We'll be keeping tabs, and we will be reaching. If you don't mind, we'll be reaching back out to you at some point too. Once you get some more college underneath you too.
Yep. Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me on here. I had a great time. Thanks for taking the time.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Kolt.
See ya.
Boom. Well, that was an interesting interview. That was good stuff. Hopefully he crushes it at Penn State. Definitely got the talent to do so.
Yeah, wish him nothing but success. Impressive interview. Sounds like he holds his dad and his grandfather pretty highly there.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. He said they both do the same thing. They put their hand in the air like that.
I'm going to try it with Quentin. He's probably going to give me a middle finger.
Probably.
And then I'm like, yo, here's the deal.
Ooh, we don't do that.
We don't do that.
But, yeah, what's going on out there, man?
We're going to roll with. So we touched on one thing, and that was I don't know if you guys, we didn't elaborate too much, but you guys a little shocked about the Adrian Peterson, Le'Veon Bell boxing match? Or you were intrigued a little bit?
I guess a little bit intrigued. It's, some running backs that a few years ago were lighting up the league, and so, kind of interesting, but everybody's doing it, so I guess not really surprised.
Quick turnaround, though, right? Like it's in the next month?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know how long they've been. I don't know how long they've been training, and it just came out. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
The news of them doing ice. I would hope that they've been training for a little longer than that, right? Trying to pull up that stats. 49ers Jimmy G to soon begin throwing after offseason shoulder surgery, and his plan or rehabilitation is on track.
Good deal.
Is that perfect timing? You guys have been seeing everything that's coming out, right? About supposedly Trey Lance is looking pretty fucking good in practice and all that.
Yeah. Just don't know if it's enough to convince all those other guys in the front office if it's enough or not.
Yeah, because it's such a big deal. If you commit to Trey, Jimmy's gone, and Trey just first few games you're like, fuck, bad move. We got what's your backup plan?
Yeah.
Right? That's so hard. Yeah, he's going to have to really wow him if, they're going to make that happen.
Yeah. I'm a Trey Lance guy. So before I continue going, me and Rio are bouncing this around. So we've been talking our own fantasy football here recently. And the league that we have that we've been doing for 10 years now, almost, or maybe, yeah. So the league has been going for 10 years, but it's kind of participants have been bouncing in and out. We're going to go to using Fab Bucks, right? And I was sitting there doing a little research on which site's the best to use for that because it doesn't look like ESPN's very Fab friendly, or it doesn't look like it at least. Could be wrong. And Yahoo looks like the place to go. But Rio brought up something interesting about us starting a 3-gig one. Us 3, obviously, and then we try to bring on like 7 fans or something like that, try to partake. And what are we thinking?
I think I would like that.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think that would be pretty cool.
Throw a little, obviously for us it would just be pride, but, maybe if we were to get beat out, maybe the winner would get something a little extra from the
I like the idea.
3-gig store.
Definitely.
The Houston Texans were formally named as defendants Monday in the ongoing civil litigation involving their former quarterback, Deshaun Watson. The lawsuit filed alleges team enabled Deshaun Watson's behavior.
Yeah, no surprise. I mean, there was reports they were getting them hotel rooms and helping them meet up with these chicks, so yeah.
Yeah, 100% they enabled them. It's not even a question.
All right, so what's the punishment? The NFL's got to come down on them too, right? I mean, if they're having a meeting right now about what, ongoing the NFL is on Deshaun Watson and what his punishment is going to be, what should the Texans be then? I mean, you're supposed to be even higher than that, right? As one of the organizations. So what should their punishment be? What would be suitable for you? Let's not both talk at once, so.
Well, it's I don't know. It's tough because probably picks of some form, right? Like you lose your picks in given seasons, but what picks and how many? I don't know. Because I think it depends on how much. Like, has what we heard been the truth about how much they enabled him, right? Is there more? Is there less? Like, what's really going on? So I think it depends on that, but it's probably in the forms of picks, right? Because you want to actually hurt them, not just fines and whatever, but I don't know. What do you think, Rio?
Yeah, it's got to be picks, right? Start at third-round picks. I don't know how you do that, or maybe order of picks. Say you're at the front of the second round. Well, now you're at the back of the second round, the back of the third round. So, maybe that's the route. I don't know. I think it's all going to depend on what Deshaun gets.
Before you finish that sentence, I know you're going to say that. I disagree. Doesn't matter what Deshaun's is. You need to hold your organizations to a higher standard than your players and your owners to a higher standard than that, right?
If he gets nothing, then I think they get nothing as well.
No, they won't. If they find anything like where they were enabled, which by the sounds of it sounds like they were doing, right? I mean, there is evidence of that. Mm-hmm. So they have to do something. They have to do something to their they have to do something to the organization, and they are going to give Deshaun something. We just don't know what it's going to be. I mean, the rumor is a year and lower is kind of what the bar is. But regardless, the conversation isn't that. So what the conversation is, I'm going to tell you what my opinion is. And quite honestly, I think it should be pretty high. First off, the team's going to get fined. There's always a fine attached to it. Now, what it is, I don't know, $500,000. I can't remember what the Patriots got not that long ago. They got $250,000 to $500,000 for, was that either Deflategate or whatever the hell it was. They got a nice little fine too, and I think they lost a 3rd-round pick or some shit. So they should lose their 1st-round pick. It doesn't matter which year, I guess. I'm not looking at years or like what year it is, but they should lose at least a 1st round and maybe even a 3rd round on top of that. You need to set the precedent to the organizations. We definitely are not going to take any toleration of it from you as the employer. And you got you have to set that standard to them. Not to the player also, but the players are the players. It's going to happen. We're going to see something, unfortunately, we're probably going to see something in the next couple of years after this is done of something egregious that one of the players do. How many of those drunken drive, like if we found out the Raiders were the ones supplying the alcohol but told Henry Ruggs to find his own transportation, would you not be holding the Raiders a little more accountable? You have to set it so much higher. It's got to be. You got to hurt them enough to where they're like, hey, we're definitely not. This is not even a question anymore. No, we're not. You want to rub and tug, you go do that on your own. We didn't hear what the hell you just said. We want no part of whatever the hell you're thinking over here. We can't control what you do outside here, but you have to set that.
Yeah, they definitely need to be punished. I agree with that. Yeah.
And I think the punishment is going to be. I honestly think it's going to be a clear-cut first-round pick and a fine. The fine's going to happen. I don't think there's any doubt there.
Yeah, I think to go back to what Rio was saying though, so it is going to depend on what happens with Watson, because if everything comes out and they only give Watson 4 games, right? Then they're not going to take away a first-round pick from the Texans, because that's not, 4 games isn't that bad, so it's not going to be a first-round pick. It'd probably be like just the 3rd or something like that. So it does, in part, depend on what actually happens from the Watson.
Yes, yes. I shouldn't say no. That isn't what I'm getting at. There's no way that the NFL is coming out with a 4-game suspension.
As an example, but
right. But I'm telling you, even if they came out with an 8-game, it's still going to be a first-round pick. That's what that is my prediction. It'll be at least that. If you want to set the standard, that's what it would be, and that's what it should be. At least that, maybe even more.
On the other end of that, if they say you're done for 2 years, then that is going to be even worse for the Texans. So I think it is tied together.
Yeah. But I was getting more at the bare minimum, I guess. The bare minimum should not be anything less than a first-round talent. You trade players for first-round draft picks. You know what I'm saying? You don't that's what you try to set the bar at every single player. What did they set it for Devontae Adams for 2 second-round picks? Nope. They set it for 3 first-round picks. Everyone's trying to get first-round picks. You're forfeiting them. You do not get a first-day selection. Maybe you even punish them beyond, let's say, and I don't know what theirs are. I don't know what their draft picks are. But maybe you even take even a bigger swing. And what I mean by that is if they traded one of their first-round picks away already, you know what? You lost that one, even though it went to the Eagles. Yes, the Eagles are kind of getting punished too. I understand that. But, I mean, that maybe they get compensated a different way. Now you have to give up your next first-round pick to Philadelphia. They don't get this year's because you forfeited this year's that you traded. Now you have to give away your other one if it was part of a trade package that already happened. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you need to set it. I think you need to set it so high that it's not even there's never a question again.
Remind me, did they disclose to Cleveland that they did that they enabled him?
No.
When they were setting that stuff up?
I assume they didn't. Well, I guess I'm assuming more than anything. I would assume you don't go.
I don't remember.
Say we're part of.
Yeah,
we helped him get these rub and tugs.
Well, I think that's where they're gonna try to protect themselves. They're gonna be like, well, I mean, we helped them and got him hotel rooms, but whatever happens is on him after that. So how are we to know what's going on?
There, with so much video and microphones everywhere, there's something. I guarantee there's something. Because otherwise, the question would be, why weren't you using your own masseuses then? And then if they did at one point, then guess what? Now they can drag the masseuses into court and be like, how come Deshaun never used you again? Mm-hmm. How come you... You know what I mean? Then you're dragging even. I think there is more than enough evidence for Houston. Is my point. If you have enough for Deshaun, you definitely have enough for Houston. Knowing about it and facilitating some shit.
Yeah, 100%.
The Colorado Avalanche win first Stanley Cup since 2001 with the Game 6 comeback win over the Lightning. Cale Makar awarded Conn Smythe Trophy, which is the MVP of the playoffs.
Big time. We talked a little bit about that the other night, too.
Yeah.
It was an interesting Stanley Cup. They stopped Tampa from getting their three-peat, so it's a big deal.
New
blood.
Yeah.
I seen Tampa come out and say, "Who said we're done?" So they still got the. Maybe they kind of needed that. You know how unlikely it is in today's era, especially in hockey, to be in that on a regular basis for like what the last. Because if you go back 2000, I can't remember what the first year they won it was, but they're basically in the hunt every single year, and that is unprecedented in NHL anymore.
Yeah.
And winning 2 in a row is unprecedented. Well, you did that. And then you were on the fence of, you were pretty damn close to going 3, and they obviously are still hungry with the comments that are coming out. Like, I don't know. People are probably assuming that they're going to break up, like start moving pieces and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I listened to this thing about the Stanley Cup, and it was pretty interesting. It, like, travels continuously year-round or whatever, and every player gets 1 day, full day with it. So they actually have a guy who travels with the cup, and so whatever, they just go basically down the roster, and that guy gets it for a full day with that guy monitoring him. They'll take it to their hometown or whatever, do a parade with it. And so pretty cool. So normally the one in the Hall of Fame, I believe, is a replica for the most of the year, just because that one's traveling for so long.
Yeah. Well, they've had to add. I looked this up once, and I don't have the exact stats on me. I just thought they've had to add so many layers because it's the same trophy. That's the reason why, obviously, it's heavy, but it keeps getting heavier and heavier because you have to add, after you get 1 ring of, champions and shit around there, you have to add basically another ring to the bottom of this trophy.
Yep.
Serena Williams loses the first-round match at Wimbledon to Harmony Tan. It's her second straight first-round exit from Wimbledon. I think Rio's touched on this many times, and that is our sports generation figures, our Mount Rushmore, so to speak, of everyone, icons of everyone, are on not just the back end of their career. This is where they're kind of falling off, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It looks like it's no different for Serena. I mean, especially after she started moving on, making her family and all that. I think she had a baby, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, everybody's, getting older. All the stars of yesterday are getting older and ultimately heading towards retirement. And sometimes you see guys play too long. Peyton Manning, I think he played too long. His arm strength was horrible. Granted, he won a Super Bowl, but he rode that defense, but the ball looked horrible. Big Ben, he played too long. He looked like crap his last couple of years. So kind of the thing, you don't want to see them get to that point. You kind of want to see them hang it up when they're not. You don't remember them for, like Big Ben. I'll remember the last couple of years looked horrible.
Will you remember that the rest of your life, though, or are we talking like the next 5 years? You'll remember.
Yeah,
that?
for 5-10 years, they'll be like, well.
Yeah, so that's what I was about to touch on. I was like, I don't even remember Peyton Manning. Like, I do remember Peyton Manning throwing ducks. I do remember that, but that isn't what when I flash back, I'm not thinking of Peyton Manning and his one bad season where he got benched for Brock Osweiler.
Yeah. And
ultimately did play in that Super Bowl, played good, didn't play great, and that he wasn't the reason.
Right.
Obviously. But that isn't what sticks with my mind. Like,
I guess
he still won a Super Bowl, so that's what the ultimate goal was, like in your final season.
Yeah.
But when do you know when to hang it up? Like, I know Peyton wanted to keep going. God, he'd probably still be playing right alongside Tom Brady right now if he didn't have the neck issue.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't think anything before the neck issue.
Yeah, he looked good. And then after that, it was just.
I mean, he had 2 great seasons with Denver where they did something, but then I think that surgery ultimately took its effect. Like the arm strength went, the nerves, right?
Yeah, I think it's sad when we see icons like that start to kind of dwindle, and it's like, all right, it's time to hang it up. But I'm thinking about it in a different way, man. How blessed have we been to be able to see potentially the GOAT in multiple sports in our lifetime?
Yeah.
Right? When we talk about Serena Williams.
Serena is the GOAT, right?
For sure.
I mean, there's
100%.
pioneers of her sport, but then there's the GOAT. Is she not? She's the GOAT, right?
You talk about Serena. You talk about Tiger Woods.
Yes.
Talk about whether you want to debate on Michael Jordan or LeBron, right?
Yeah.
You talk about Tom Brady in football, probably.
Kobe
right?
Bryant.
I mean, when you think of the athletes that we've been just
blessed with.
Man, it's been so cool. And we've had to see all of them go through this, and it's tough, but it makes you think about how great they were at one point. Because, man,
Yeah.
I'm not a huge tennis guy by any stretch, but watching highlights of her, even when I happen to watch like a game of hers, something like that, she hit that fucking ball so hard, man.
Yeah.
Nobody could touch it. Nobody could keep up with that.
No.
They were so good. Her and her sister were both so good, man. And they came from nowhere to
Yep.
be, where they are. So it's awesome.
Watching the icons go is sad, but it also makes you reminisce and think about the good. Like, damn, how many legends we had in ours? Like, maybe we just put them there, but and every generation before and after and be like, oh, you guys are just. And I'm like, I actually think they literally we went through the guys that lifted each individual sport to like a whole different level.
Yeah.
Right, we had so many of those. Jordan at the tail end for me and you. LeBron, of course, helping take it to another level, like you said. Old girl just taking it like it was women's tennis. Okay, then the Williams twins, or Williams sisters, and then Serena taking it to a whole another level. Tiger in golf, like Tiger was golf. I don't care it was Tiger in the field for how many years,
Yeah.
and you were betting on that.
Yep.
Tiger against the field. There was odds. I mean, that's just nuts to me. So, but we're seeing some of that come. Instead of keep going down the list, I'm going to go right to that since we touched on it. We've been like even, uneven, whatever, kind of throwing our opinion out about the Live Tour. Obviously, I'm not going to give you the names that just jumped ship now. There's 3 more that jumped. But I was thinking about this the other day. Instead of thinking negative, like we're talking about, like how's the PGA Tour going to last and stuff like that. You know how it's going to last? It is now officially, by far, I mean, besides health, whatever happens with his health, this may open Tiger's window for catching Jack. Because you know what I'm saying? All these cats ahead, like his biggest competition, are jumping ship. I mean, Rory is still Rory and shit, but you still have guys like that. But you are losing some of the better players of right now, world rankings, going over there.
Yeah.
Tiger gets right. Like before, I was like, I don't think he's going to get to, I think it's 18. Yeah. Jack is 18. He has 15. I was like, yeah, he's not going to get there. I mean, if he gets one more, it should be extremely special because of what he's went through in life. Yeah. But you know what? This might have opened the door for him. And not to mention, Tiger will never go to the Live Tour. I mean, he's a billionaire, gentlemen. He's worth $1 billion. So now he may have a shot at doing his legacy. I was just thinking what you guys thought about that. I was having a thought process the other night.
Yeah, good thought, but kind of just like all the other sports, you're starting to see better golfers. Guys who have been playing a long time at higher stakes, more competitive. All around.
They're all going to Live. That was my point.
No, I'm just saying coming up in general.
They don't have the experience, and then they're going to be in awe of playing against Tiger. That's what my thought process is.
Right, and this is my thought process, Jim.
Yours is wrong.
Please.
Danny, you're up. Go ahead, Rio. I'm just kidding, buddy.
No, I'm with you, Rio. I think Tiger he's at the point where he's got so many things, so many issues. He's older. I don't think maybe, we get lucky and get to see him win one more major, maybe, but I don't even know if that's going to happen, man. With all these guys going over, maybe that helps him make the cut. Okay. Yeah. I'll give you some of that.
He hasn't missed very many cuts even since his injury. He doesn't play unless he's making the cut for the most part. Otherwise, he just yanks himself out.
Yeah, he's just so beat up, man.
I understand that. I did start that whole thing before by saying that this is barring health, assuming he can play physically for 4 rounds of golf. That's what I'm saying. If he can do that, he is going against inexperience. He's not going against champions anymore. Yeah. The champions are moving over. Outside of a few. So I just had the shot. And Rory may be able to catch up quite a few more, too, because he's still on the younger side. But if we remember, he was supposed to be handed the mantle, and he, fell off tremendously. Yeah. Right? Yep. There was a couple of years where he was a pretty damn special player, right? Like, special. Yeah. And then he just, fell off. All I'm saying is, you take all that experience. Yeah, you have all these guys coming up, but they're going to get starstruck. And they haven't been in that situation before. He has. I'm saying barring health. That's all I was getting at. Purely health. And that's the only thing that holds back for me. That is literally the health. Either that or he takes 100% focus of his son. in his son's career,
Right.
which could be too. But I think it opened the door. Before it was like this much. Like if I gave a 0.5% chance that he even won one more major is maybe where my percentage was. Now to win one more, I bet you. I would be willing to bet that he gets at least one more.
Yeah, I think that's realistic.
Just based off of what's going on right now, and we don't know who else is going to eventually jump ship. I think Rory's too on the hook for everything, all the comments that he can't jump. But you know what I'm saying? All these other.
Yeah.
We don't even know who all is going to eventually just go, you know, or how long it's going to live for. John Wall has reached a buyout with the Rockets and is set to join the LA Clippers. Thoughts?
Yeah, if he can play, that's huge for them. What's Reggie Jackson, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're going to do there because he was kind of their good story the last couple of years.
Hopefully you can turn him into a bench player, maybe? Like bench mob? Come up
He's
off?
done it before too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So maybe it could be huge for them. Just depends on health, and health is always the issue with Wall.
Right, I would say 2020 was his last year he played, and he only played like 40-something games that year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to play, but like I said the other night, I think they got to get themselves a point guard to get the ball out of Kawhi's and Paul George's hand and let them play off the ball. So I think, again, health-wise, health, big question mark.
Even in his – so I was looking at his stats last night throughout his career. And even in his diminished 1 year, the last year he played was 2020, even in a diminished year, he was still averaging 20 points a game. He was still hitting – it isn't an impressive number, but he's still hitting 30%, over 30% from three. You know, his assists were still around that 7-8 range, and that's during a banged-up year. If he can bring even that to the table – I'm not even talking about even 2016, which is by far like his best statistical year. His NBA career was like 20, I think it was like 24, 23 points a game, almost 11 assists a game, 2 steals a game. I'm not even talking about going back to that. If they can get Kawhi on the court, which has he played in 2 years? Feels like he hasn't played in forever, right?
Yeah.
Kawhi, and then if it's a good roll of the dice, is my opinion. A good roll of the dice. You have nothing. I don't know if you have much to lose there at this point. It isn't a great, sexy free agent market coming on. I mean, there's potential. I talked to you about guys that I believe have potential, but for surefire, help you win right now what you need. I don't know if that's out there. Especially if you don't get your cat right there. Mm-hmm. By the sounds of it, Knicks are going heavy at, which is what the report is.
Yep.
Kyrie Irving says he is opting into his $36.5 million option with the Nets. I think he found out that when he gave that list of teams, only one of them came back and they couldn't provide anything, and that was the Lakers.
Yeah, $6 million is a lot different than $34 million.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So he kind of had to.
Yep.
You had to sign it, or you're going to take, a tremendous. And the only team that, like I said, really wanted you was the Lakers, but they would have to do a sign, or not a sign and trade, but a trade, and that trade piece would have to be one of the three, and more specifically, it'd be Westbrook.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I did put that in here. NBA quick hitters. The Knicks viewed as a strong favorite to sign guard Jalen Brunson, like I just said. Russell Westbrook opts into his player option today of $47 million. So Lakers could have saved money if they would have pulled that trade.
Yeah.
I wonder if KD just wants no part of Russell. Remember how he used to defend Russell back in like the Oklahoma City days, like when the media would kind of go after him?
Yeah.
That must have just been niceness.
I don't know. KD's a hard read. You know, you hear rift with the front office. You know, does he want to play with Kyrie? Does he not?
Well,
I don't know.
Oh, I listened to the last podcast, and I didn't see this. You said that they haven't talked.
Yep.
They haven't talked in a month, 2 months.
Yep.
That's kind of different from what KD's been. Not what KD's been saying, But what you can insinuate from KD on his podcast that he's been talking about, like he makes it sound like everything's all right, kind of ish.
Right.
And what I mean by that isn't like he's saying it's good, but he doesn't sound like it's bad. He's like, I'm just staying out of the Kyrie thing, you know.
At this point in his career, he wants to win, so he's probably kind of waiting out this Kyrie thing out. Because if they do trade him, get nothing back in return, you know. You've already shown you can't get through the playoffs with the Nets, so now do you try to leave? Request a trade or something like that. So
I got something a little interesting for you. I'm KD front, and I never thought about it like this. I really didn't. I heard someone talking about it. KD doesn't make anybody better. When he goes to a team, name a player that he rose their game, like whatever they were. It doesn't matter if they were already a star and he helped them turn into a superstar, or if they're a bench player and helped them elevate their stats up to a different level. The more I thought about everyone he's played with, either help develop themselves, or if you want to make the argument, I guess you could say Russell, him, and Harden, they're all learning the game together. But outside of that, I mean, he went to Golden State, who obviously can win with him and without him, in two different age time frames. You know, Did he bring anybody up with the Nets?
No.
I didn't know if you guys could think of somebody that he helped. I'm actually open for discussion on it. I can't think of one where he elevated his team and made them a better player. Even Steph does that because Steph buys into the Golden State Warriors system.
Yeah.
And that is big, right? You buy into the system and the system works. That brings everybody else up too, right? They obviously have brought in different players at Golden State that has worked the system, and they've done great, gotten them paid. Harrison Barnes, forever grateful to the Golden State Warriors, right?
Yeah.
But all kinds of players like that. Oh, boy, you were just talking about in the last one. Jordan Poole, they offered him
4 year, $100 million.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, players like that. KD, it just struck me a little bit. I was like, God, I never honestly thought of it like that.
Yeah, he's not a LeBron type player where he makes the players around him better, right? He's a scorer, and that's what he does.
Yeah.
So when he left Golden State, that was the dumbest thing that he could have ever done. They could have rattled off like a ridiculous amount of championships.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, wide open all the fucking time.
Yeah,
like
because you have to respect everybody else in that system. And he is an offensive assassin.
Yeah.
He learned to play a little bit better defense when he was with Golden State, which made me respect him a little bit more because before he was just purely a scorer. He learned to play a little bit of defense with them and bought into the system. Evidently, his feelings took over too much. He couldn't take Draymond's mouth, which I kind of understand because I don't like Draymond's mouth either. So,
well, even this past year in the little bit of playoffs that they played, Kyrie, what did he average? 14 points a game, right?
Yeah.
That's not making anybody better. That's terrible for Kyrie.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I'm with you on that, man. He doesn't. That's not what he does.
Yeah. Like I said, it wasn't even mine. I can't remember who had said it, but it made me think. I'm like, God, I can't think of another player that he's actually raised their. LeBron brought up Boobie Gibson. Do you remember him? Boobie Gibson. Turned him into nobody knew who the hell he was to a rotational like almost 6-man player. You know, you remember that 3-point corner, 3-point shooter?
Yeah.
I know you remember. Big 12 targeting Brett Yormark to replace Bob Bowlesby as the commissioner. Yormark is the CEO at Jay-Z's Rock Nation, having been promoted in January.
Gotta do something.
Yeah, need a guy.
This one, so I don't think you guys touched on, or if you did, I didn't catch it. Freddie Freeman fires agents who led the offseason contract talks. And what I mean by I didn't catch, if you guys did say it, I don't know if you guys saw his a very, very, very emotional return to the Braves. Not like they were playing him, and he had to collect himself multiple times. And when I mean collect, enough to where get words out, he was still crying. Pre-game, post-game, on the field when they were doing waving, all that, and the standing ovation, everything. It's telling me he never wanted to leave, ever. Did not want to leave there, and he tried to play hardball to get another year. As in his representatives, there wasn't much, it didn't sound like there was much negotiation, and obviously.
They go.
I don't know if you guys saw that video of him.
And now
his
I
return.
didn't see it. I don't know. It's weird because who just got paid from the Braves was that Azuna, and he was like, "Yeah, I told him I'd take less money, go back, work something out with them. I want to be a Brave." So I think if he really wanted to, you like Ozuna come out and said, "I'll take less money, whatever they kind of offer. Let's do this. I want to stay here. I'm not looking to get paid. Let's get it done."
It looked like everyone that had anything to do with actual baseball, and I'm talking about the managers to the maybe even to the low-end representatives for the Braves, did not want to see Freeman go in any way, shape, or form. They were all going up to him. There didn't look like there was any animosity. It was pure love, and the whole works. That's what I'm getting at. The baseball minds higher up, maybe, and his representatives comboed. Like, no, he wants a 6th year. Well, hold on. Did you even go talk to Freeman?
Right.
Like, is there any type of... It kind of looks like, especially after him firing, I wonder if he found out a little bit. Like, hold on, you offered this and they didn't even bring that to me? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, you said maybe 6 years and I would take a little less, but I just get the extra, I still get my year, or I get a little more, but it's only for the 5 years? I don't know if that's a scenario, but, it feels like after you fire him that it had to have been something like that, right?
Seems like it. I don't know. A lot of times in those situations, the players are totally hands off, though, right? Like, they act as you in those negotiations. So I don't know how often that happens, right? Where the player don't even know what was offered. They just know they turned it down and they went somewhere else. So.
And I guess we gained a little bit of that from Anthony when he was on too. Well, my agent has been telling me what's kind of going on, and maybe you're a little more in the dark than what we suspect. Maybe Freeman, okay, then go with that. Then Freeman had to have said, I want to be a Brave. Get it figured out. I want to be here. I want to kind of end my career. So the end of the career number would have been 6 years, is in his mind, right?
Yeah.
And obviously I want to get paid, but I want to be a Brave. And maybe they didn't go in good faith. They were trying to get their nut too, because they get based a percentage off of what you're like. Hold on, they didn't want to play. They want to move on from you. They have a first baseman and the wings here, and the Dodgers are willing to do this. Maybe misrepresented of him, representation of him. Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, signing a 3-year extension worth up to $71 million in new money. That places him among the NFL's 5 highest paid wide receivers.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, contract includes $28 million in signing bonus, which is the largest ever given to a wide receiver.
Okay.
The number seems, when you think about like the Devontae and stuff like that, you're like, okay, 70-some mil, like whatever. Almost 80% of that is guaranteed, though. So he doesn't have this incentivized plan that makes it look astronomical, but that's a shitload of money, and it's well deserved. You rode his coattails for a while in fantasy, man. Terry McLaurin doesn't drop passes
When he's healthy.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Obviously, way more worth it than the Jacksonville guy that they signed, right? Oh, I always forget his name. Arizona's Christian Kirk.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That isn't a bad contract, is it, Rio?
Nah. He catches passes from shitty quarterbacks, so yeah, pay him.
Imagine what he could do with a good quarterback. That's what I always think about when you have someone like that does it year in, year out with duds. It's kind of like DeAndre when he went through all those Texan ones, right?
Yeah.
And then you got a decent one. I know. I'll just say decent, Danny. Just decent. Kyler. Throwing you the rock, a little bit different.
Yeah, he's about to get paid, too. Speaking of getting paid, I don't know. So we see the same shit all the time. Did you see that Chase Daniel, how much money he's made?
Yes,
yeah.
I did see that.
What the hell?
41 mil or some shit.
Yeah, he's made like
that. What is it? The 33rd most quarterback money or some shit.
It's crazy.
Insane. He's played 5 games.
5 games.
Yeah.
Ultimate backup.
Ultimate backup.
Get that money. Who's his agent?
Before, can you remember this with Dubs? Before they got Patrick Mahomes and they had Chase Daniel, you remember that?
He was hard on about old Chase.
He was like, just give him a shot. Just give him a shot.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Chase doesn't want a shot.
Right.
He wants those 5 games career and making 40-something plus $1 million.
Done.
Well, how much did Fitzmagic make? I mean, granted, he's not a career backup. I get that, but it seemed like he would have one good year, and then he'd always be riding the bench for another year before he signed with another team that he hoodwinks for another.
Yeah, I don't think he ever got like paid though. I think it'd always be for like small money.
He got paid
He got
one
paid
time.
one time.
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
But after that, I'm saying
That's
after
the Bills
bouncing
other one.
around. Yeah.
Well, that's this name. Bears backup last year won the Super Bowl with the Eagles.
Yeah, and Foles.
Foles, right? Same thing with him, right? He rode that, good season, got paid, sucked for a while. Good season, got paid. So same thing. He just, lived a little better life, I think.
Yep. And gentlemen, that's what I got. Let me kick off my weird law to you. And that is, I'm going to continue with New Jersey because they have a lot of messed up laws, my friends. All cats, this is in Crest Hill, New Jersey, all cats must wear 3 bells to warn birds of their whereabouts.
Damn.
Yeah. A little warning system. Not 2 bells, not 4 bells, 3 bells.
They like their bells, man.
Yeah. Let the birds know they're coming.
Cats are savages. They just want to kill shit.
Right,
Yeah.
true that.
Yeah.
And yes, sir. That's what I got.
Boom. So who's got to make sense if you don't think about it?
You had one, you said you had one-ish on Sundays that, but Rio ended up rolling.
Yeah, I gotta pull this out of memory lane here, I think, real quick.
Well, while you're doing that,
Yeah.
I think we're going to, we were talking about this, we kind of put a pause there for a little while. I think we're going to try to get back to because we're not that far away from training camp, gentlemen. Me and Rio were talking. We kind of did two divisions, one AFC, one NFC North. I think we're going to go back to try to get our post-draft, what we feel of the teams type of feeling out again for the other 6 that we're missing. Not today, but maybe we'll kick her on the next one. We do have Donald Payne Jr. coming on Friday.
So
A stud linebacker
there you
for the Houston Gamblers, which is pretty big time.
Yeah.
Did you dig one out of the spank bank?
I'm trying to remember what I was gonna bring up the other day. I gotta get a little journal next to me. Like you've got
Oh,
to write
well.
this shit down.
Well, you could, but then your pen will come up missing, like mine.
Just gotta find a pen real quick.
Let's see. I got one for you. First off, I'm gonna do a little bit, not right now, but I'm gonna do a little bit of Rio's at some point where he was his chronicles. What was that cat's name? The stories.
What
What was his name?
Trey was.
Trey. I think I'm gonna do the life and story, short stories of James Sr. 'Cause there's enough of those. I mean, I got to rambling a couple weeks ago with Gary. I just story after story after story of fucked up shit that this man did. Pioneer. He was ahead of his time in fucked up shit, law breaking stuff. Gave no shits. Yeah. But I'm gonna go with Taco John's one. When I was 16, was it 16? I was employed at Taco John's in Mason City. And I think I've already told you guys about the fire one, right? Where my vehicle started on fire.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. This was a little different. So I had a boss, and he's still there to this day. He's a lifelong.
He's still there.
He is still there.
It's crazy.
He is lifetime manager. He will bleed, die Taco John's. The owner loves him. He corrected his life. Because he used to be an alcoholic, I do believe. Like heavy, like out bar scene. Like he literally had a screw popping out of his face one time. Ooh. Hold on. We're gonna go that one. That's in Taco John's too. We can just go on Taco John's list. All right.
Yeah.
So, manager. He had gotten in so many bar fights when he was younger, right? Like he just mouthy. Him and his brothers. He has I think he had 1 or 2 brothers, and they are like bar fighters, brawlers, right? You get too much in them, and old, 80s, 90s, shit like that. Well, we went to. This may sound stupid, or you might have forgot. Like back in the day, like not even that far back in the day, but I would say before 2002. Before 2002, not every restaurant you didn't have to wear gloves to make food, right? Some people may find that disgusting right now. I mean, you still had to wash your hands and shit, but you didn't have to put gloves on. Well, that changed while I was working there. So we had to go to throwing gloves on every time we make food, which also can be dangerous too, because if you sweat a lot and that sweat is running down from your gloved hands, I think that's actually even more gross. But regardless, Mike was a big old stickler for this because he is diehard company, right? I don't think you realize how hard it is to change your behaviors and what you've been doing for so long when it's just suddenly changed and you got to do it right now. Yeah. You know? So we had a few people, including myself, that would forget every so often to throw them on, you know, because we're used to just making the food and going, right? Well, he would just beat it down. Now, this ties back into his bar fighting days. He's on the other side. He's on the drive-through side. I'm on this side, which would be the in-store one, making food. And this guy, by the books, everything. By the books on how much meat he puts on the goddamn taco, which is like minuscule. By the books on everything, weighed out shit. And he had his gloves on all the time. He was a stickler for it right out of the gate, right when we started doing it. This guy has so much metal in his face from getting his cheekbones and everything smashed in his bar fighting days that he has plates all over the place. And one of the screws is like pushing out of his skin. Like you can't see the screw, but you know what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, it was starting to cause like a little bit of an infection, enough to where the green pus would come out the corner of his eye right here. Now, just a little bit. I'm not talking about like it'd be like, you know, like that, but just a little bit. Well, once it starts itching or something like, or whatever, like he feels that it's actually there. What's this guy go do?
No.
Does he change his gloves? But he's gonna sit there and beat me up because I had already washed my hands. I used to do it like that, and I had to toss my gloves on. But he's going like that. Just go. Now, shit has changed. Owner, I brought it up in front of the owner in front of him. It isn't like it was behind the scenes. I literally like, hey, Mike, why don't you change your fucking glove? I shouldn't say a name, but why don't you change your fucking glove? You know, it was right in front of the owner, you know, since you're wiping your fucking pus out of your eye. Yeah. But it just kind of makes sense if you don't think about it. You're a hammer about something that someone's getting used to, even though they have clean hands. And I get the concept. Don't get me wrong. Washed hands, the whole works. You're fucking beat down on everyone that kept forgetting when you just changed the policy. But you're over here still making fucking tacos and burritos like it's no fucking thing.
Yuck. I thought tacos tasted better in 2002.
Yeah.
I thought there was something a little different.
Well, you didn't think you ordered guacamole, but
yeah. Like, it must have just came from another one.
Yeah, got free.
Yeah.
Free guac? Hell yeah.
Oh, I got a few with this cat, though. I really do. The one I was going to tell you has to do with the freezer door. And it also has to do with that manager, too. And it is fucking hilarious. When I said that's the reason why I had to correct the alcoholism, because he still drinks, he just doesn't go out to the bars. So he drinks at home. And he drinks his beer warm, by the way. It stays like in the closet underneath the steps. Count. So it doesn't count. But whenever something would go wrong at the restaurant, he would come in no matter what state he was in. Didn't fuck with me too bad because he knew who my dad was.
No doubt.
But regardless, moral of the story, to me, and this is big. This is actually I've actually signed a write up like this too. No bullshit that says lead by example, Holmes.
Yeah.
Lead by example. Like, if you're going to sit there and beat down on something, then you make sure you're doing the exact same fucking thing that you're asking someone else to do. And that's what I got.
Man, that's fucking disgusting. But
yeah.
I like it. Just remind me of Gilligan's Island, okay?
Gilligan's Island. I don't have a pen. Someone took my pen.
Okay.
I'm really in flux right now. It bugs me.
I got it.
Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up, but...
Ooh. Can it be as fucked up as, like, a hotel room?
No, like I don't know if anything can be. I don't know if anything can be, but it's pretty fucked up.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah. So I think it's about time to wrap her up.
Yes, sir.
For you beautiful people that found us out on the interweb somewhere, the podcast is available where, Jimmer?
Anywhere and everywhere you could possibly think of. YouTube, Spotify, YouTube. Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, anywhere else in between.
Yeah.
Click like, share. Click like, share. Click like, share.
Click like, share, rate. Definitely give us the rating. Jimmer's mentioning YouTube a bunch of times. We're improving the quality every day out there. We've got a great digital editor that's helping. If you haven't noticed yet, some really cool videos, things like that, to make that more interesting. But we also love to tell a good story. If you've got a story you want us to tell, go ahead and slide on in
to our DMs. Tell us that story. We'll get it out to all the folks that want to hear it. We'll omit names or whatever you need, but we'll tell that funny story.
Absolutely. And Jimmer, when you walked in today, might have noticed, it seems like you might have been working out.
That is not true. But if I were to go tomorrow...
God, take a compliment. Shit.
I've been on the road quite a bit, so I haven't been eating as much. I forget meals and shit. But thanks for noticing. But more specifically, what you are getting to is our partner, FitBod, workout generator. You go through, plug and play anything you want. What you're trying to work on, better yourself physically. My man over here to the right's looking pretty buff because he really does use it. But you get 25% off by using the 3GIG code. Go to our...
How much?
25.
That's a quarter.
25%.
It's a nice discount.
Off. Yep.
You don't hear that very often.
What are...
Especially not in inflation days today.
No doubt.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, we do. The inflation has went up 25%.
That is true.
That's not wrong, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, I do have that right in front of me, by the way. Chase Daniel will surpass $41 million in earnings this year, which ranks 62nd all-time in NFL quarterback earnings. He started 5 games total in 13 years, averaged 6.5 yards per attempt. Absolute backup quarterback legend.
Moral of the story, if you want to change your family's wealth, become an NFL backup quarterback.
Right.
Boom.
Or
a kicker, right?
Or a kicker.
You can be a kicker.
That's right.
But FitBod, baby. FitBod.
FitBod code 3GIG. And thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3GIG Sports.
We out.
Discussions, I've been writing, I love it.